My ass is a damn mess. I've been sitting in this restaurant in the Dominican Republic watching Pose crying the whole damn time from this scene right here. Candy coming out, this casket just took me out. I'm so mad. These people are looking at me like I am damn crazy sitting in this restaurant. I've been crying for the last damn hour. Let me get to this video.
It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. Woo! I gotta pep myself up and pretend to be crunk because I'm all cried out for over you. I just spent the last hour in a hotel restaurant crying, watching Pose while eating a steak dinner. I was in there crying so profusely that they them sent Spanish fish over. They sent Spanish daddy over. They couldn't understand me. I couldn't understand them. Then they sent the English-speaking manager over to make sure that I was okay and not over there on bereavement. And little do they know I was participating in Candy Fume. Yes, God, honey. And I normally got a little more coof and class about myself and would not be in public crying the way I was. But I was just crying and could not stop from the first 5 minutes of the show. From the moment they stopped breakdancing and Pray Tell read Candy the way he did over her Madonna impersonation, I was crying from that moment on. And I was watching it on demand with no commercials from my cell phone through my AT&T app. So, bitch, it was just non-stop. I did not get a break. This had to be the worst episode of Pose, yet the best episode of Pose at the same time. It was only the worst episode because it kept you in tears for 43 damn minutes. Ryan Murphy, Janet Mock, and the rest of y'all, I don't appreciate it. My face all fluffy, my throat all dry. I had to blow my nose on them people cotton napkin. Let me tell you something. I got to walk my ass back down to this restaurant because I was so damn distraught. I got up and walked away from the table without tipping the damn people because I needed to get out of there and do my makeup. Because I had to upset my makeup and disturb my tears fucking around with Pose, okay? Now let's just get right on into it. Better yet, before we get into it, let me tell y'all what I do for y'all. The whole trip right now is on a catamaran on an island somewhere, luxuriating, floating on boats, drinking and carrying on, and I'm home watching TV making videos for y'all hoes. So you better appreciate what I do for you. Quiet as it's kept, honey. The bus had to meet at 7:15 this morning. Number one, I was tired. And number two, there was nothing about being stuck on no hot-ass island for 6 hours with no way back to the hotel that interests me. So I laid my black ass in the bed till 1 o'clock. Then I got up and went and got me something to eat and watched Pose. And now I'm here with y'all. And I just needed some downtime. After coming off of Essence, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't feel like being around 200 more people having to be funky Dineva for 8 hours trapped on the island. And that's just true tea. Nevertheless, the episode opens up with, I got the power. Ain't that beatbox Martha Wash in them? When they was trying to hide Martha because she was fat, I love that they brought, you know, some of the masculine energy into the situation. Let the boys break dance or whatever. That was hot. Okay, then Candy comes out, tried to break up the scene, and got her face cracked, okay? I don't know what in the entire hell Candy was doing. Neither did Pray Tell. And Candy got red boots, okay? But it was something about the way Candy got red this time that hurt my feelings to the core. Like in the past, the shit's been funny. But it was just something about the way Pray Tell spoke to her this time that hurt. And I can't put my finger on it because it's not like he exerted any more or less energy than he does any other time. But something about that hurt. And I don't know if it was her speech about I want to be seen or just the fact that she was trying so hard episode after episode to be something that she wasn't, and it just finally was like, damn, girl, give it up. And it is weird because, should she have given up? I'm a realist, okay? And I am one of those people that do not believe in telling children you can be anything you want to be. I don't believe it. I don't think we have believed it when we say to people, baby, you can be anything you want to be in this world. I have one caveat to that. You can be anything you want to be in this world within your realm of God-given talent. All right? No matter, listen, I drop y'all in a New York minute tomorrow to be a damn singer. There is nothing that would make me happier in life than to be able to stand up on a stage in stadiums and fucking sing for people like Luther Vandross. Singing is my favorite thing to do, okay? It is. That's why I'm always singing. But you know what? For me, singing does not pay the bills. Singing does not put food on the table. Singing will have me on the corner singing my shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because singing and I don't see eye to eye. That's why I'm spending all my money with Miss Jan and Kim Burrell now, trying to get it together. And yeah, they don't help me do a little piece of, yang, yang, yang around the house. But let's just be real. Quentin Antoine Latham, let's just be real. You will never be a singer. And I will probably go to my grave unfulfilled had I been trying to pursue being a damn singer. Let's just be for real here. And y'all can't tell me I can't sing, baby, because I can in my soul and in my heart. And that's all that matters. It's just something about when it comes out my body, it don't sound like singing. But in my heart, I'm finna fuck around and start crying. Because it's an inner cry. Like my inner voice. And I guess that's what Candy was feeling. An inner performer. An inner fish. An inner body. But I guess that's what the trans struggle was all about. When the outside don't match the inner. We didn't see it. And we didn't see it for you, Miss Candy. Oh, Lord. This is, we ain't supposed to be laughing because this is serious and that's our sister. But sus, give it a rest already. And you know what, Nessa girl, I want you to do? I just want you to text somebody in your life right now and just text, sis, give it a rest. And I feel like the universe will translate that message for them. Sis, just give it a rest. Nevertheless, that really hurt my feelings when Prey spoke to Candy the way he did. Let me get some of this cheese platter. Honey. So moving right along. Pray Tell and Blanca then go on to see Nurse Jackie. They go to see Nurse Jackie about what Pray Tell thought was going to be the AIDS cabaret. And Dr. Jackie was Nurse Jackie. I don't know why I'm having such a struggle remembering this Sandra Bernhardt's character, but this is what the fuck we finna do, right? You see how easy Dr. Jackie rolled off my head? From this moment on, that whole name Dr. Jackie, because my ADD act up too much for me to have one extra thing that I need to focus on. Dr. Jackie had done pulled out Blanca's lab work or whatever and was saying, listen, Pray Tell, we think you should get on this medicine. Blanca has been on it and her T cell count has improved. And Pray Tell cussed their ass out. He didn't appreciate Blanca going down there telling his business about he had went down to Ian Levanzant office of witch doctor and voodooism and was told to eat a pound of butter because it'll help flush the toxins from your gut. Which, that shit just sound all kinds of wrong. Do you know, first of all, do you know I get, no, let me stop. I was about to say I get sick eating a tablespoon of butter. But baby, I put a tablespoon of butter on a piece of toast in a heartbeat. I love butter. But not, and I love butter in my macaroni and focus, Quentin. But a pound of butter. And I love what Dr. Jackie said when she said, the fact that you have gone to the witch doctor to find some sort of treatment says that you have made an investment in trying to get better. Why not do this? And for those of y'all who don't know, and I'm not the most abreast, but I do know, you know, you hear folklore right now. People say shit like, if the cancer don't kill you, the chemotherapy will. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are apprehensive about doing chemo. I guess AZT was so strong at that point, or so, you know, whatever, experimental or whatever it was, that people felt as if they were dying from the medicine quicker than they were from the disease. There was a lot that was unknown, and that was why Pray Tell did not want to take them pills. So moving right along to the next meeting where things got hectic. It got kind of hectic. Pray Tell went down to the Denny's or whatever to have a meeting with the MC's council. Now, is it me? I'm going to need y'all to educate me because I don't know everything. I know that they've been going out in the streets and getting some of the girls. Were those guys sitting around the table some of the real MCs from the ball? I know one of the gentlemen was the one that had the longer hair, the one that they gave the least amount of lines to. He snapped at the end. He had the red vest on or whatever. He sometimes piggybacks from Pray Tell at the ball, which I also think would be a great role for me because, bitch, I can read and I'm quick on my feet, everything else. Miss Sophia would also be a great person for that, too. Nevertheless, shameless plug. Call Tracy Christian at TCA Jed Root Pose people if you want to book me. Are those the real people? They had a meeting and then Miss Candy ass was sitting 2 seats over from them like Carmen Sandiego. And baby, she had on a nasty, leopard, knockoff Diane von Furstenberg or whatever the case may be. And she stepped to the girls and proposed, okay, since I can't win body, since I can't win femme queen realness, since I can't bowl, since I don't have no talent, since I can't find a man, since I ain't got no shape, since I'm black, I'm ugly, but I'm here. That's a Color Purple reference before you dumbass millennials get in there and be like, why you gotta call her black and ugly? I hate the fact that now we live in such a world with these dumb non-reference being able to pick up on bitches are so damn sensitive that you can't even tell a damn joke without having to spend 5 minutes explaining it where it came from. Like that time I was in the airport and I laid on the ground and said, Lord, I'm going to wake up with that nasty woman's disease. And this woman just went off on me about, you must hate women. Why must the disease be a nasty woman's disease? Men get diseases too. And it was like, you dumb bitch, it come from the color purple. I'm not playing into colorism. I'm not picking on Candy. It was just a riff off of when Miss Sealy said, I'm black, I'm ugly, but I'm here. Shameless disclaimer. I never thought I would get to the point in my career where I'd have to explain jokes. Lord have mercy, I'm changing. Look at me. Look at me. I am changing. Y'all know the rest. Anywho, Candy proposed a lip-syncing category, something that she could excel in. And Pray Tell was like, hell no, ma'am. That shit that they doing downtown, uptown at them white boy bars, that ain't what we do. It's not authentic to ballroom. Carry your ass home. Now, I want to take a moment and speak about that. I come from a performing arts background. Drama and theater was my thing, despite the fact that I could not sing. All throughout elementary, junior, high school, I've always been in those programs, plays. I mean, even what I do now, it's my thing. When I moved to Atlanta, and everybody was talking about the Monday night show, the Monday night drag show. Oh, you got to come to the Monday night show. I was like, okay, bitch, I'm finna go to the show. I love live performances. I am not going to lie to you. When I first attended actually just about all of them, I didn't like it. I did not like it. I did not like the lip syncing situation. Coming from a background where I was used to seeing people get on the stage and sing down, I didn't get it. I was like, this is stupid to me, and this is easy. I was like, anybody can fucking stand up and walk across the stage from side to side and move their lips to a song. Then it took my friend Jonathan, one of my best friends, he had to help me change the lens by which I was viewing the situation. So for him, he was into the Monday night show and the drag queens because of the illusion of it all. He's like, you know, Q, they've taken a man and turned a man into a woman. It's not about necessarily the God-given natural ability to sing. It's about just the performance of it all, just the total package. Whereas I was just judging like based on the voice and the acting ability. You know, then over time, and I'm not gonna lie to you, over time it was the Raquel Lords, the Nicole Love Duprees, and the Stasha Sanchez's of the world. Watching them perform, I was like, yes, God. I mean, have you ever seen Nicole Love Dupree do her Whitney impressions? Look her up, Nicole Love Dupree on YouTube, and make sure if you check out her videos, you tell her Funky sent you. Stasha Sanchez, me and her got a little inside joke. We called each other Each One Teach One, because she think because she in the Each One Teach One program, that bitch better than me. Shouts out to Stasha Sanchez and Raquel Lord. Like, those three performers, those are the three that changed my whole whatever when it comes to the drag world. Nevertheless, I was with them though, and I'm still kind of there with the lip syncing. Like, y'all watch RuPaul Drag Race, and I just don't get into it. I honestly think that it would take the shit up a notch higher if the people could actually sing. However, I recognize the fact that we'd be in another Candy situation if the only people who were climbing to the top were the ones that had voices, because all of the girls can't sing, and lip syncing is a way to equalize the playing field for everyone, regardless of, you know, race, creed, gender, color, shape, voice, dance ability, so on and so forth. So whatever, let the girls lip sync. But I was with Pray Tell when he didn't want to allow them to do it. So then here is where things get heavy. They at the ball, they call Blanca to the back, and Lulu was crying because she can't find Candy. Now the thing is, at that point, I'm already crying because you bitches spoiled it for me. Well, it's my fault for watching Pose damn near a week late. But y'all spoiled it for me. I already knew Candy was dead. I wish I would have been able to watch it from a place of suspense. But that's what I get for watching it late. Or whatever. I probably would have cried even harder than I already was crying in that restaurant had I not known she died already. Then they went down to that sleazy motel, and that motel man was so rude to her. And it was like, I just knew they're going to find Candy body dead in this hotel. And again, I continue to tell this story, you know, and I have to. It's so funny that I'm on this trip with T.S. Madison, and it was her that explained it to me, because I was one of those people who was super duper, I'm not going to lie, I'm ashamed of how judgmental I was about the trans women working the boulevard. I'm from Miami, Florida. We have a street called 79th Street. And there's just a stigma about 79th Street that the dirty, foot-dragging ass trannies, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that is the language that was used, and that is how I was socialized. They be on 79th Street. Them niggas with them titties and them dicks be on 79th Street working. And to this day, that is still the stroll. And T.S. Madison will tell you her stories about working the 79th Street stroll. And it took her and one other friend of mine educating me about why the girls have to do sex work. And I've told y'all this before. There was no other work available to them. You know what I'm saying? We're not even going to get into that. We talked about it. And so, yes, nobody wants to sell they... Now, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. Janet Mock, please don't be mad with me. I was going to say, nobody wants to sell they dussy. They dick pussy on the trans girls. Y'all laugh. We got to have some fun. God damn it. This is a heavy episode. Nobody want to sell they Dixie or they pics or they dussy. They pussy dick. Nobody want to sell they buffet of sexuality on 79th Street, okay? This cornucopia of love, okay? This hodgepodge of fucking, okay? However do you want it? I got the power. Nobody wants to sell that shit on 79th Street, but people do it because there was no other options available to them. And you're right, what am I finna go do? Work 8 hours at damn McDonald's to try to make rent? Work ain't honest and the damn sure ain't paying the bills. So Candy was doing what the hell she had to do in order to make ends meet. And that was sex work. And You know, for those of y'all who can't understand it, we find parallels now with the cisgender heterosexual women, the ones that work the beat. Crackheads that can't get a job, they work the damn beat. You know, shit. How many of y'all, you know, let's just be real. How many of y'all out there got kids or whatever, things have gotten tough, and you know you got 1 or 2 men in your life you can go back and call and fuck and get a coin. Bitch, you prostituted. You worked the beat. Okay? If ever you picked up the phone and called a man that you're not interested in from your past and you fucked him because you needed help with a bill or you were behind, you were a prostitute. And it's weird because I'm sure 90% of you females that are looking at this video right now have done it. And for the men, for the straight men, for those of you who have wined and dined a female excessively and incessantly, you're a pimp. How many homeboys y'all know that say, man, I'm trying to get this one, I'm trying to get this one, and to fuck, you don't took her to Ruth's Chris, you don't bought her a bag, you don't paid a bill, you don't bought her son some cleats for basketball, you was a pimp. So before we all get judgmental and act like we ain't never did it, we did it in one. Well, I ain't never did it because I'm classy and I'm not like you hoes, but I ain't like most hoes, you know. But we've all done it on one level or another. So let's cut Candy some break that she was in room 44, whatever the case may be. Now, the hotel manager calls Blanca when they at the house and reveals that Candy is dead. And Candy calls over Lulu and tells Lulu and subsequently tells Electra. I hope that this is not the end of Candy. For 2 reasons. I've met Angelica Ross on a personal level. I've met her at T.S. Madison's house. And I also hung out with her at the Gentleman's Ball in Atlanta. Shouts out to Juan and Jean, the Gentleman's Foundation. She's a great person. So for one, I don't want this to be the end of stuff for her because I want that girl to continue to work. Every time I turn on the CNN, she's doing activism work, and she's at the forefront of trans activism, and I love that. However, I have also seen some of the promos for American Horror Story, and it looked like Mama ain't finna miss a bill because Ryan Murphy got her over there. So, you know, I just wanted to get both checks. But part 2 of it, from an artistic perspective, I don't want this to be the end of Candy on Pose because I want to know how she died. You know, I want to know what happened. Did she get strangled? Or did I miss it? Did they tell us how Candy died? I want to know. I want a flashback of the scene of what happened. You know what I'm saying? I want to know the circumstance and the psyche of the man that buys the trans woman, screws her, then kills her. Like, why did he kill her? Like, I want to know all of that. And I think that there's a rabbit hole that Pose can go down with Candy's story to keep her around in a flashback capacity. Hopefully that is what they will do. Now, baby, they were sitting around the table crying for her. And when Angel called Electra Abundance Alachua, I died. And it was the comedic relief that we needed because the shit had been heavy for so long in that moment. But here is where I started crying again. Or crying harder. When they couldn't get the body. Who got the body? Is Blue got it? They could not get the body. And I just thought about how troublesome that had to be for so many people during that era, that the morgue would not release the body because they were not, real family, and their family members didn't want to claim them. They couldn't get a hold of Candy, Mama, and Daddy. That shit infuriated me. And the way that Dr. Jackie went up to that department and went to bat for Candy and that body. So this is a great pause point for me to make a point about gay marriage and so on and so forth. For so many of y'all out there, and I always said that I think when we started the gay marriage campaign that we needed Olivia Pope and some other spin doctor to have branded what we were really fighting for in another way outside of using the word marriage, because marriage triggered a religious response out of majority of America, and we already know how religion can have people kind of clouded and blinded when it comes to things like homosexuality and transsexual, so on and so forth. With those of you who don't agree with gay marriage, so on and so forth, don't understand is that for us, the shit has nothing to do with religion. It has absolutely nothing to do with religion. We, as the gay persons, trans people getting married, we have our own relationship with our own God, with whomever we pray to, and our own sacred covenant. For us, it's a matter of, I have built a life with this person. I've been with this person for 30 years. They've now died. And I can't even go down and get the body. Okay? They've got a life insurance policy. The family members have outcast this person, not been in their life for 30 years. Now they die, and the family comes in and gets the life insurance policy, and now my ass is stuck hanging in the child line because they've got legal rights. For us, it was about legal rights, and it had nothing to do with God and religion and Jesus and the Bible, and so many people could not get past that. But you know, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. This was just a great place to point out that was the importance of the whole Marriage Equality Act. It had less to do with marriage and more to do about legal rights of two people who decide to set up shop together. When the funeral home man did her body and did her for free, you know, that brought me to tears because he said she had been down there. I guess he said she was coming down there weekly or every month or every other month, and she was always nice, and that she was the only person who greeted him by name. And you would be surprised how far simple pleasantries, thank yous, looking people in the face, patting them on the back goes with people who go unseen. This whole episode was about Candy being unseen, and there it was, another way they plugged somebody else in who was, you know, unseen. So I thought that was very creative. I bursted out into another outburst of tears because I'm still at a loss for the strength that it required for these people to attend this many funerals. And like I said, I was born in '83, which means while the AIDS epidemic was at its peak while I was alive, I was so young that obviously I did not feel or live through what was truly going on. And I am truly now at 36 years old grasping the magnitude of what was happening. Like, I don't know what it's like. I've only been to 4 funerals in my life. My mama, my grandma on my mama's side, my grandma on my daddy's side, and my step-grandmother. Though I only been to 4 funerals in my life. And those have devastated me and torn me apart. So to think that there are people who are going to funerals on a weekly basis, or people who have been to 10, 15, 20 funerals, I just can't fathom the type of strength that took, or how numbing emotionally that has made a person. That just had me, I was just retroactively crying for these people. Fume after fume after fume. We already don't have money. It was sad. Candy comes from the dead and speaks to Pray Tell. That was another deep scene that actually got me together on a very personal level. When she asked him, why were you always so mean to me? And he was like, because you were everything that I hated about myself. We just saw this on an Iyanla episode where the guy said he told his brother, that the Mitchell brothers told one of the brothers, don't tell people I'm your brother. Mind you, you just like blatantly gay. You know, you can't even hide it. But because you were like that, I had a situation. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to share it. I had a situation that when I first became Funky Dineva, I had a friend that was very dear to me call me and was like, what are you doing? And da-da-da-da, and you shouldn't be doing that, this, that, and the third. And to this day, I still carry some resentment about it because this person said that to me only because of their close affiliation to me, and they felt they were still closeted and dealing with it at that time. And they felt that their close association to me would basically make them clockable, you know, not knowing that everybody else already treated you like a gay person anyway. So that was one example. And another was, there's actually somebody in my life right now that I actually owe an apology to in a roundabout way, because I realized that I've been particularly hard on this person because they possess a lot of traits that I don't like about myself, and they are making a lot of mistakes that I hate that I made at a very young age. And in trying to shield them from making those same mistakes, I'm actually being a little too hard on this person, and it has more to do with me hating that I am seeing myself again in this person than it does to do with this person living their life the way they want to and learning the lessons that they need to learn. So that helped me because I've got to now make some adjustments to how I've been treating a certain somebody in my life as a result of my own issues. That was powerful. And wow, that was just hard. It wasn't hard for me to realize, it was hard for me to share it with y'all, because that was deeply personal. Ouch. Yeah. You know what? I would encourage y'all to take that same leap of faith that I just did. You know, especially those of you guys who have kids. You know, I look at sometimes some things that parents have done. Parents treating their kids bad because they're jealous of the children. Parents being mean to their children because their children have more spunk and courage than they do. That's also something that I deal with. You know, there are times where I have felt like my father has treated me away because I've been able to be everything that he wasn't. You know, and that's deeply personal. I'm probably going to get some phone calls about this because some family members probably going to see it and repeat it and call them and tell them. And maybe it's time for us to have that conversation. But there have been moments in life that I felt like, you know, he hasn't liked me or has treated me funny because I'm the living manifestation of everything that he couldn't be. And I've got the balls that he don't have. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, they don't know, they're not equipped to love us properly sometimes. I've experienced that. So that was very deep when Pray Tell said to Candy, you know, I ride you because you're everything that I hate about myself and everything that I want to be. So I implore you guys to take some self-inventory of some of the relationships in your life and see if there's anybody that you treat a particular kind of way because you got an issue with yourself. Candy then comes out and talks to Angel about working the beat and how she don't need to do that. You see what happens to me. That was cool. Then Angel goes on to talk to Lulu about how you need to come in and pay your respects. And I get why Lulu didn't want to do it. It was kind of hard. My sister didn't. My sister came and saw my mom's body and then left the funeral. My sister nor my brother even know where my mama's body is buried. Of the siblings, I'm the only one because I guess she was so overwhelmed that she could not attend to this day. I've been deeply personal with y'all today. Well, this episode of Pose really opened me up. My sister could not go to my mother's grave right now if she wanted to. She'd have to call me and ask. She has no idea where that body is buried. It's like that sometimes. People grieve differently. Candy's parents show up. That was another hard one because Blanca goes out and then greets them. And then, you know, even in the midst of her being dead, the mama with that staunch, ornery, ignorant shit. There wasn't a she. That was our he. And it's like, well, your he is dead in the casket and your he is half dead because of the way you treated him. And I'm sorry, some of y'all gonna get mad, but where that shit comes from in the black community, I don't know about the black community because I ain't Spanish like this, I'm black like this. It comes from that goddamn church. It comes from that goddamn black church, okay? And I want y'all to understand because y'all know I'm very critical of the church. And I finally come to a point where I'm able to say this with y'all. I don't fuck with the church because I'm one of those people that are church hurt. I am church hurt. The church was used as a weapon against me majority of my life. And that's why I don't fuck with it. I'm bitter, I'm scarred, I'm hurt, I'm broken, I'm battered, and I'm all of that from the church. It was the church that made me feel the lowest about my damn self in life. It was the church that told me I was going to hell. It was the church that told me I did not belong. It was the church that told me I was not worthy. It was the church that told me every piece of self-doubt I had in my life stemmed from the church and from the teachings that the church as a whole gave to our people. And listen to me. I'm not talking about an individual church. Yes, this church may be inclusive. Or yes, I might need to find the right church. Or yes, this church over here accepts gays. But let's talk about the institution of the church as a whole, all right? At 11 years old, I did not have the luxury of jumping from this church to that church or having someone in my life saying, let me take you out of this environment and bring you to an all-inclusive church. Or to so my indoctrination, my socialization, and all the pain that I've experienced in my life as it revolves around being gay stems from the damn church. And that is a large part of the reason why I don't fuck with it. That is a large part of the reason why I'm very critical of the black church. Because once I got to college and I realized that me being gay wasn't a demon, or that once I realized that I was born this way, it made me realize, wait a minute, the church was wrong. Then if the church was wrong about this, then what else is the church wrong about? And that's where my super critical, analyzation of the church stemmed from. Not solely the gay part, but once I woke up and realized, wait, if the church, which is supposed to be the end-all, be-all, and the absolute truth, because that's how it was taught to me, that the church is the end-all, be-all truth. But if the end-all, be-all truth is wrong about this one thing, then it is very much possible that it is wrong about 1,000 things. And lo and behold, it is. Let's focus and get right back on track. But for many communities, Black, Latino, most communities, it's the church and religion where a lot of these attitudes towards gay and trans people come from. And for those of y'all who finna get in my comments and be like, well, don't get mad with the church, it's the word that's in the Bible, fuck you and get the fuck off my page. Because I don't understand why I'm going to hell ass watches me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want none of you. I don't want none of you. I think you going to hell. Ain't no sin greater than the next. Bible toting ass people. I don't want. Go away. Unsubscribe. Leave. Bye. Bitch, I don't need you. Okay? I don't want no half-ass support. And I'm at a place in my life right now where I don't want to be tolerated. I want to be accepted. I don't want your friendship. I don't want your relationship. I don't want your love if you simply tolerate me. That's another reason why I won't go to people's churches. I always got a question when people invite me to their church. I say, If I go to your church, can I get married at your church? They look confused. And I say, well, can I hold my lover's hand or put my hand on my lover's knee the way your mama and daddy would in your church? And if they say no, then I say, no, thank you. I'm not interested in going to your church because I'm not accepted. I'm tolerated. And there's a difference. And it hurts like hell. Anywho, Lulu break up the scene because shit gets real tough. Shit gets real tough at the funeral. I don't fuck around and had an inner cry. Shit get real tough at the funeral. Lulu break up the scene, stealing the gloves or whatever. That was real funny. Lulu and Candy sit down and have a talk. And, you know, Candy talks about how Lulu didn't like her. And Lulu was like, well, girl, I didn't think you liked me because I was light-skinned and I was thick and I was everything you wasn't. And, you know, that was just another hard thing to watch, is because we all have insecurities and we all be going around thinking this person don't like us for this reason and that reason, when we all bleed the same. Then we want to sit around and damn cry when the person was dead. That was a very deep scene between Candy and Lulu, despite the fact that it was comedic. They were like, you know, girl, we did share some good times, even though there was some jealousy and some infighting between us. This is getting lengthy. Candy, mama, and daddy come to the funeral. You know, the mama says she don't think she can do it. She looks at the body, you know, and she, you know, she finally realizes that this is my baby. And that's another reason why y'all have got to hear Miss Mary sit down and talk about T.S. Madison and Maddie coming out as trans and her accepting it, and the way Miss Mary travels along with us. And let me tell you, when I tell you Miss Mary is Bible-toting, scripture-quoting, okay? But that is how it's supposed to be. This is my baby. And I'm sorry, there just should be no religion or no religious dogma or set of rules that supersedes you loving something that you pushed out your uterus. I just don't believe in that. I got some family members now that are Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. That are Jehovah's Witnesses, and there's, you know, I don't know all the rules with the Jehovah's Witness stuff, but there are certain people who I guess they call it disfellowship, and when you've been disfellowship, that these set of people not really supposed to mess with you and affiliate with you, that shit hurts. And you know how that fucks somebody up psychologically? We share the same blood. You pushed me out your vagina, but now you're treating me with distance, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. And the more and more I explore, I really just think religion is the downfall of society. All of them. You look at what's going on in the Muslim countries, you look at the genital mutilation, you look at what's going on over in Africa, and I'm not saying spirituality and or God. I am saying the man-made institution of religion, I think, is what has the whole world fucked up, at least part of it. Candy sent me through tears. I got to wrap this up, y'all, because it's 42 minutes. Candy sends me into tears when she says the daddy, she saw the daddy buy her the bird, either the birdhouse or the dollhouse. And the daddy was like, I just wanted my child to be happy. And I just found it, I cried so hard then because I found it funny that the daddy was more accepting than the mama. And that's a direct parallel in my life. My mama told me I was going to hell and that she could see the gay on my skin. She said I didn't even look the same. She came over to my house one time just with hate in her heart. I opened the door, and mind you, I used to help my mama pay her bills. My mama needed me. I didn't need her. And I'm just like, she was so filled with hate and disgust. This woman came to my house one time, and I answered the door, and we were talking about something, and somehow or another we getting up arguing, and she was like, look at you. Look at you. I can just see it on your skin. You don't even look the same. And I was like, wow. And the funny part about it, how God fixed her ass. She walked outside my house and down the stairs. Well, my mama had a raggedy ass car. And she needed some water to put in her radiator. And she had to walk back upstairs and knock on the door to try to get some water to put in her radiator. And you know I left her ass the fuck out there, right? I left her ass. It brought me so much pleasure to leave her ass stranded in that hot ass sun with that raggedy ass fucking car smoking in my front yard. But do you know how that hurt? And what the fuck does that mean? Look at you. I can see it on you. I can see it on your skin. You don't even look the same. Like, to this day, that still messes with me. It brings me some relief that by the time my mother died, she did come to accept it, and she changed, but that hurt. Two things you can't get back or take back are words and time. That hurt. Now I was only in my young 20s. My father on the other side said, "You didn't even have to tell me that." My daddy said, "I watched the MTV. I don't know what you think of me. I'll never do any of my children like no white people do their kids." Now that's what my daddy said. I'm not saying that white people do their kids wrong. He just said he watched the MTV, and that's what he saw on the MTV. And he was like, even if you were a murderer, you still my child. I still had to love you. And whether he meant it or not, at least he had enough emotional intelligence in that moment to say it. You know what I'm saying? And do I think he meant it? I think he knew it was the right thing to say. I think he meant it with 75% of his being. And I think he grew to get the other 25% later in life. But I at least respect and acknowledge that he was able to put whatever it was he was feeling to the side in order to fortify me. And parents, that's what your only job here on this earth is to do, is to fortify the children. Because if you don't love them, who will? You can't expect nobody else in the world to love your children and treat them right if you won't. How could you have an expectation for the world that you don't even uphold? And last but not least, I never knew love like this before. Now I'm lonely evermore since you came in. Woo! This was a hard one to get through, y'all. 40-something minutes. My throat hurt. I'm finna go get me a cocktail. When they pulled Miss Candy out that casket and had her sing, it was so triumphant. It was so victorious. It just was the perfect culmination, wrap up, sum up of this episode. And it was what I needed. And it made me run to this room to do this video. And see, I need y'all to understand why I say sometimes, like, I can't watch things like When They See Us. I've just talked to y'all for 46 minutes, 46:22. This has drained the life out of me. Crying drained the life out of me. And I don't like making videos this long because I feel like y'all don't like watching me this long. Like, I honestly feel like y'all want the punchline. Y'all want me to get in and get out. And I feel bad sometimes because I feel like I be rambling. And maybe perhaps what I'm saying is not that important. But I just sat here and did this video for 48 minutes. And what y'all don't know is before this video, I had already recorded another one for 20 minutes. And I felt like I was talking too much and needed to condense it. So I started over. I've been now sitting here for an hour and 30 minutes damn talking. I'm emotionally exhausted. Fuck you, Pose. All right. Forget all of y'all. And did I tell y'all I met two of the guys from Pose at the Essence Fest? I'm going to put them, if I got enough energy to edit, I'm going to put them in this video, put the pictures in the video, in this video. Anywho, y'all, I ain't got no more to give. I'm on vacation, goddammit. I was going to try to watch Basketball Wives for y'all today. Y'all might get that tomorrow. I'm getting off the line. Be sure to like and subscribe. Bye!